So have you asked yourself, am I reading price properly? This is something that you got to ask yourself, because this could be one of the things that is standing in the way of you consistently choosing the right direction, which ultimately leads to more profitability and consistency. So in today's video, I want to give you a very overlooked, simple approach in how to read price by means of bars, okay, and how you can translate reading bar charts and translate that into the Japanese candlesticks. All right, so without further ado, let's jump straight into it. So here I have illustrated a bullish bar and a bearish bar. Okay, so if you look at the bar chart, right, if you're on TradingView, you can go click this icon here, and it's by default, it's typically on the Japanese candlesticks. Change that to bar so you can see it illustrated. After this video, hopefully you'll be able to recognize it for yourself and be able to read price the way I look at price, or how I was taught to look at price. And so with this here, you want to look at, in price, you have always going to have an opening, a high, a low, and a close. Okay, whether it's bullish or whether it's a bearish candle or slash bar. All right, and so when I am trying to determine where we could draw up to next, or where could price most likely head to next in a logical way, the first thing I always do is very basic, is I look at where price opens, where price made a low or a high, and where price expands to, and then I try to predict the next candle's price action just by way of looking at how the previous bars or candles had printed. So on a bullish bar, you would look at this here as opening price. Okay, this move down, it creates a low first, typically. That's another way of us looking at manipulation in the markets, or manipulation of price. And then we have that expansion higher, and this is the move that I am typically looking to capture. So you know, if I can get in, if we're bullish, if I can get towards the lower end of that spectrum and capture all of this expansion, that is great. And so if you're looking at this from a daily time frame, you can look at this on every time frame. Actually, you can master this on every time frame, because price is fractal. On the daily chart, price you know, is definitely I want to say you get a stronger confirmation. But this video is just to show you exactly how to perceive price. Okay, and so in a bearish scenario, it will be pretty much just flipped, right? So you'll have the opening up here, right, and then you'll typically have a manipulation higher, and then you'll have the drive down, which is that expansion move that I just showed you, and it'll make a low, and then it'll come back up, consolidate, and close around this area. So when I'm looking at, so when I come to the chart, right, and I can see, you know, when I'm looking for that, I can go back to the candlesticks. Okay, I can kind of anticipate when I'm looking at this chart, for instance. You know, I can see that price had made an opening here, and then price expanded, and it made this high here, and then it closed right here, because it's the body of the candlestick. All right, so that's where price had moved. So This one didn't make a particularly, like, it didn't even make a low. It literally opened and just shot up. So not the greatest example. But if we look at this next candle that was formed, okay, if I'm on the daily chart and I'm trying to predict where price can draw up to next, if we're bullish, I'm looking for the previous high or old highs to be rated through. And so in this instance, if I'm just looking, if I'm looking at this candle close for this day and I'm here, okay, I'm going to look at price open up on this candle, and this move down is the manipulation move. I'm looking for this high to be taken out. Okay, so let's see. Let me find a better example on the charts for you, actually. So look, this is a good example. So here we see this on this day, a high was made, okay? And we had a high made and we had a low made. But we had price open right here. And we'll change the color here to, we'll just say that's red. So we had an opening, we had a drive lower, right? And then we had a move above this previous daily high. So if I know that, if I'm already anticipating, right, and this video is not really going into full detail of directional bias, I just want you to see something and how I typically read price. So let's, we already know that I've already done my top down analysis, and I already know that we're going to drive higher. So if I'm looking at this previous day's high get rated through by this candle, the next candle I'm looking for price to open here, and I'm looking for a drive down. And I'm not looking for price, if prices to continue up, I anticipate a move down to shoot back up to take out this high here, okay? And so that's exactly what we do. So we have opening, we have an opening price on this candle, price drives down, it doesn't drive down much, okay? It doesn't drive down much. I'm not looking for it to clear the previous daily low if we are to continue bullish. But, with a plethora of other things, if I know that, if I'm timing this properly, I know we can continue up, and I'm looking at this old daily high to be taken out. If I see volume in the market and this gets rated fairly quickly, my eyes immediately go to these old daily highs, and then I'll just look at all of these old daily highs as next possible draws on liquidity or targets that price can reach up to. Okay, so that actually happens. Okay, and we also we can tell this was a sell side imbalance, so this price action was to balance out this inefficiency, this buy side inefficiency. And so price continued to go up, and then like we can see here, now that this candle closes, right, we have a high made. And let me make that a little bigger. That's it. Front. Okay, so we have that high created. We have this low. So knowing that we filled this balance, imbalance. Now I'm really like strongly bullish. So I'm thinking, when this candle, before this candle prints, I'm looking for a drop down, and then a rate above the high. Okay, and so that's exactly what we do. We get that manipulation, and then we get that expansion. So go through your charts, start looking at that, start reading price, as simple as that. And this was just like a quick tutorial on how I read price. This is no matter what strategy you're using, no matter if you're smart money, retail, or what have you. It boils down to just reading price action. If you're a price action trader, I definitely encourage you to start to look at price from the open. Look at where price could most likely draw to next. And usually, if we're going to be bullish, we're going to have a manipulation to the downside first, and then we'll have that expansion, the high is made. So the goal here is just to start reading price like that. So I encourage you to, over the next couple of days, the next couple of weeks, next couple of sessions, just start reading price in that manner, and switch to the bar chart, and until you can get acclimated. But it's very easy. I like to see it from this view. And when I'm reading candlesticks, although these are candlesticks, I'm in my mind, I'm visualizing this bar chart. Okay, I'm visualizing price in that manner. So start to recognize price from the opening, and then see where price goes. So like if we go down to a 15-minute chart, and I'm gonna leave you with this. So if we go down to, if you ever watch my live streams, you'll see that I'm always very curious about the 12 a.m. midnight opening price. Okay, because that tells me everything that I need to know with, potential, where potentially we could, price can draw up to. Okay. So we have opening price at midnight New York time. Okay, and let's just say I already know that price has taken out all of this buy side liquidity, and I'm anticipating a strong dollar for the day, and I'm already anticipating for us to go lower. I'm looking for price to open. And then what I showed you with the line chart, or with the bar chart, not the line chart, the bar chart, I'm waiting for a manipulation to the upside, right? And then I'm looking for that expansion, and then I'm looking for, well, the closing I'm not too concerned with, but we have that opening price. We have that high created, that manipulation to the upside, expansion. Price comes down, takes out sell side liquidity, and price will most likely close, wherever it decides the market wants to close price at. But that is exactly the prerequisite, I want to say, with catching the high or the low of the day. So I wanted to give you the very basic 101 how to read price, okay? And in my next video, I will try to dive a little deeper into explaining to you how you can go and hunt the high and the lows of the day, all right? So this is very important that you go through your charts, start to look at price in this manner. When you're on the lower time frames, find the midnight price. Find that midnight New York opening price. Look for that manipulation, whether you're looking for price to go down or price to go up. Look for the manipulation. Usually, if you're looking for price to go down, you're looking for that manipulation up first. You're looking for that ICT Judas swing to the high end, and then you're going to look for that expansion down. So till next time, I will get back with you, and hopefully this was valuable to you.